hi, hello. My name is Emily. Welcome back to Emily A to Z. Today marks the beginning of National Library Week, which is so exciting. The ALA says that April 7th through April 14th is National Library Week, and every day is a different concept or theme. This year's overall theme is called Drawn to the Library. Today specifically is Right to Read Day or Freedom to Read Day, meaning they are combating groups or organizations that wish to censor or ban books from public consumption or from schools, libraries, and things like that. And so there are different activities you can do. You could write a postcard to your library, thanking your library for having books for everyone, regardless of content or author status, right? There's all kinds of things. And so I thought for this week, since one, I am a library worker, and two, I use my library constantly, I thought I would only read library books for this TBR tackle, which thank goodness. So even though for the month of April, I have a bunch of books that I want to read, and several of them are ones that I own, I will not be doing that. I am only going to read library books this week as a way to show my support for National Library Week. Starting off with Waco Rising. I started this at work today as an audiobook. This is a nonfiction following the story of David Koresh and the Branch Davidians, and then also getting into, it's going to talk about FBI involvement and then modern day militias that happen here in the States, maybe elsewhere, but things that have happened because of this or inspired by this and so on. I am listening to it. It's about an 8-hour long audiobook. I've got about 2 hours so far. I am also keeping track of how much I am reading. I want to see, my goal this week is only read library books, and then how much can I read? How many library books can I read this week? How much time do I spend reading library books? Because it's important, okay? Use your public libraries, please. So far today, just at work, I listened to an audiobook for about right at 2 hours. I listened to it at 1.7 speed, so I've gotten quite a bit of the way in so far. And I will continue reading this in a little bit. I do have some editing that I need to get done, and then I'm going to go back to reading. I'm going to try and just spend as much time reading as I can this week, reading these library books and just doing what I can. This week also marks fun activities that will be had at my job every day. We have a different fun theme to dress up as and play with. We get snacks every single day as employees and library workers, just as a thank you from our community, from our friends, from our staff, and from just organizations that love us and support us. So it's a great week. We celebrate. We also have training this week, all kinds of stuff. So today I did dress on theme. This was the requirement. Can you guess what it was? Say it with me. 3, 2, 1, stripes. Today was to wear stripes, something easy on a Monday. Tomorrow is to wear a book-themed shirt, and I am very excited for that. But I'm not going to talk anymore about tomorrow. I will fill you in after tomorrow. I'm going to go back to editing and start reading. It is Tuesday, April 8th, and today is National Library Workers Day. Bum-ba-da-dum! And today's theme at work was to wear a book-themed or literary shirt of your choosing. My shirt says Booktrovert on it. My mother-in-law gave me this, and I'm pretty sure, if I'm not mistaken, Rachel has a similar one. So then at work today, I got to help with a school outreach visit, which was so much fun. We went to a school and checked out books with kids, and just to little kids, every single first grader got to like sit through a story time, and then they got to come and pick out a book that they wanted, and I got to help with that and like check the books out and like interact with the kids, and they all got a sticker. It was just a lot of fun. I am so tired, but it was a lot of fun. And then the people came to fix the siding on our roof, which is so exciting, or the side of our house. I would go show you, but it's cold and windy and I don't want to get up, if I'm being honest. I'll show you a different time that the siding has been fixed. But it's been fixed. I had to take these hooligans for WALK because they were working in our backyard and I couldn't just put them in the backyard. So they're now worn out because we went for that. Like, look at this dude. Just zonked. Admittedly, he pulls. Awful. Anyways, other updates before we talk about, no, just kidding. Let's talk about National Library Workers Day. So Libby, the app that a lot of us use for getting audiobooks, it is through your library. You sign up with your library card, and then you have access to your library's online digital materials, whether it's an ebook, whether it's an audiobook, whether it is graphic novel, or a magazine. Libby has access to those through your library. So you can't just like get Libby and start listening to audiobooks. You just need your library card, and it's great. And then you can sign on. But Libby made a really great post on their social media today, and I just want to share it. That way, I just think it's great. So they have National Library Workers Day. Who are library workers? Roles may differ, but the mission is shared. Both librarians and library workers are dedicated to connecting communities with information, resources, and support. Libraries thrive because of collaboration between staff at every level. Each role plays a key part in delivering excellent service. Librarians often focus on things like, but not limited to, collection development, research support, and long-term planning. Library workers are essential for, but not limited to, day-to-day operations, community engagement, and frontline service. Library staff play an invaluable role in supporting their communities. In both good times and times of challenge or crisis, library workers in all types of libraries serve millions of library users in need of life-changing, accessible services. Library workers are often the first face a patron sees when walking into their local library. Today and every day, we recognize library staff for their contributions in transforming lives and communities. And I love that. I am not a librarian, but I am a library worker. A lot of the work that I do on a day-to-day basis is not visible to the naked eye. If you walk into a library, you wouldn't find the person that does my job. You're not going to find us. You're not going to see us out on the floor. We are not the people that are smiling and waving at you. We are not the ones checking in your books. We're not the ones doing outreach programs and going to the community and working on things. Sometimes we can. I volunteered to help out today because I wanted to. I want to be involved. You know, we are not that. I work behind the scenes, but my role is just as important. I help make sure that patrons have access to materials and that they are taken care of and they are in the best condition possible so that people can use them and love them and continue to use them multiple times. Please use your libraries. It is so important. Please. If you have a library worker in your life, as a family member, as a friend, as a close adult in your life, say thank you to them. It does matter. In terms of bookish updates, as of right now, I am a little bit over 5 hours. When I went to bed last night, I was just before 5 hours, and then when I took them for their WALK, I listened to my audiobook. So that's why it's now above 5 hours. But we are boot scooting boogieing into more hours than I thought. I'm saying I got to about 5 hours yesterday, which is crazy to me. I am hoping to get a lot more time in today. I did not get to listen to an audiobook at work today because I was dealing with children and other things. So I didn't listen to an audiobook at all at work, and that's okay. I did read this for about an hour last night. There's not a lot more to report other than I'm still really loving it. I think I'm going to say this right now, so no takesy backsies. I have an idea of who I think is behind it all. This locked room, isolated island mystery. I am putting the pieces together. I am a little over halfway. I am more than a little over halfway. I think I have my suspect locked and loaded. I think I've figured it out. I think I have figured out how this works. I think. We'll see. I would love to finish this today. That's not going to happen. But Caden does have sports practice tonight. I will be reading this during sports practice. Sports practice is an hour and a half, so I will be reading during that time. And I have a little over an hour left of my audiobook. A little less than an hour left of Waco Rising. I will finish this today. Yeah, I'm going to end this here because I have another video I need to film. And then I will check in with you tomorrow for what the theme for tomorrow is. Hello, it is Wednesday of National Library Week, and we have updates. But first, look at this princess. Hi, baby girl. Oh no, whoops, we called her over. Now she's gonna come give kisses. She doesn't know what to do if mom's not petting her. Mom, what you mean? Okay. Eisenhower is, of course, he's all the way over there. I don't even know if you can see him. Let's check in. First of all, coffee, of course. This is from my local coffee place. They have officially transitioned over into their spring or their April menu. And all of the options for it sound amazing this month. This is definitely what I associate with them specifically because I think April was like the first time I really tried them. And excuse you. Wow. All right. April was the first time that I really tried them and had this exact drink. This is called Robin's Nest. And I fell in love and I have never not gone. This is salted caramel butterscotch hazelnut and espresso. It is so good. And I did get it in a big boy. This is a 24 ounce. Why? Because I earned this. I got my finger stabbed today. Why? Because I had to do another like health screening for that program through my work where they offer us the workout with a personal trainer or the dietitian meetings. In order for that to continue, you have to also go to like the health screenings that they do as well periodically, which I don't mind. It helps you keep track of progress, right? I had one last year. It's been a couple months. So now, you know, theoretically we're a couple months into the program. So they're checking our levels again to kind of see, have we made progress? Where are we at? And like, yeah. So they had to like take some blood, and sorry if you don't like blood, but like they had to stick me twice because apparently I started to like clot really fast. So they had to poke me twice to get enough blood. It's fine. But like that looks great. Blood pressure, heart rate, they weigh you, measure you, and it's fine. Like it's done in 10 minutes, but like I feel really good. They go over the results with you like right then and there, and like they were like, your numbers look great for your age, a woman your age. Like this is where you should be. All of mine were like below that in the healthy ranges. They were really happy with it. I'm really happy with it. And like I don't care what the number on the scale says. Like that doesn't matter to me. What matters is if I'm overall healthy. My weight will fluctuate. I know that. It's the number itself is going to go up and down depending on the time of the month, how much I've eaten, you know, all of that. Muscle mass, it's fine. I've been working out consistently. I've slacked off the last couple weeks, but I've been working out consistently, and I'm really proud of myself. I had to fast though. I had to fast for at least 12 hours before I could do the thing. You know what I mean, which I believe I was successful. I was not so good last time. But because I had to fast, no breakfast, no coffee, just water and normal medications, I stopped and got myself a coffee afterwards because my appointment wasn't until like 10:30 and then I was late. I left on time, but the place where it was confusing as to where to go. So I got there, my badge let me into the building, and then I literally just wandered around this building for like 10 minutes. I thought I knew where I was going, went to the room I went to before, which is like far on the other side in the bowels of this building, wasn't there. Then walked back. My badge wouldn't let me in certain doors, would let me in some areas, but not all areas. So then I got stuck in like a cafeteria room because I couldn't get out of the cafeteria room and had to like backtrack, leave the building, come all the way around, go to the front desk and go, hey, I'm really sorry. Where am I going? Just for them to go, oh, right there. Cool. I was like, a sign would have been nice. Whatever. I have things to show you for National Library Week. This is the official art for National Library Week. This was created by Raina Telgemeier and Scott McCloud. I know Raina is an author. She's written like drama and ghosts and things like that. She does that. The bookmark was created by the ALA, which is the American Library Association, but this is the theme of Drawn to the Library, and it does look like a comic panel, which is very fitting. I think it's really cute. These are bookmarks. So I don't know if these are at all libraries, but my library system is using them, and I love them. They're great. Today, Wednesday, so every day is like a different day. This is National Library Outreach Day. So I have some information for you about what that is. Formerly known as National Bookmobile Day, National Library Outreach Day celebrates the many ways libraries go beyond their walls to meet people where they are, on the road, in parks, at shelters, in schools, and beyond. There's a FedEx truck that he can see. He doesn't like delivery trucks, I guess. Or he wants to go join one and escape us as a part of a traveling circus of delivery drivers? I don't know. It's alright, bub. Anyways, today we're tipping our hats to all the outreach workers who bring the library to the people, whatever wheels they're riding. And I love that. So my library, we actually just did a bunch of training on our outreach department. That was who I was working with yesterday. I am not part of our outreach, but I chose to go work a shift with the outreach yesterday, and that was how I got to go see the school-age children and like visit with the kids and talk to them about libraries and about getting a library card, and summer reading is coming up, and introducing little kids to libraries and books and how it works. And they got to hang out with us. Like, we came to them with our outreach vehicle, our bookmobile, if you will, and we got to come to them, show them books, read them stories, let them check out books, and it was fantastic. I had such a great time, and I am beyond grateful and thankful that I got to do that yesterday. It was so much fun, and I'm just really happy that today is also National Outreach Day, Library Outreach Day. Our work theme for today is a color challenge. We have various locations around our city. We have different branches, and each branch is assigned a different color, and our colors today were to wear pink, green, and or gray, depending on like where you were scheduled to work. It is my day off today, so I just thought I'd try and wear all of the colors. So I've got a pink shirt on, I am wearing green pants, and I have gray stars on my socks. I wasn't sure how else I was gonna get gray in this, unless my like jewelry is silver, but I guess we could call it gray. My glasses are gray, but I wear those every day. I'm doing my part. Tomorrow will just be a comfy day. We're allowed to just wear very casual, comfy clothes because we're doing like an all-day training for tomorrow. So nothing special, but that's okay. Now that I've done all of my library week nonsense, let's check in on my reading only library books this week and see where we're at. I am happy to report that as of last night, we are 8 hours into this challenge. I don't know why, but I'm feeling very satisfied with that. I didn't get to read at all yesterday during like the morning and afternoon. All of my reading came at night. So I spent like 3 hours reading last night. And to show for it, I have 3 books to talk about. And we're gonna go from like worst to best, starting with The Topeka School by Ben Lerner. I am DNFing this at 25%. I just don't care. I don't like the way it's written. The narrative style is very stream of consciousness, and is very jarring. And then interspersed, we are also getting like time jumps, but they are not clear. It is not apparent that that is what's happening. We get little snippets of this like third person thing following Darren, and then we jump to a different character. So like each like vignette kind of chapter is a different person. So like it opens with Adam, and Adam is a high school student and he's on the debate team, and I did not give a shit about him. Then we jump back and get this weird different timeline thing. And then we get a chapter from Jonathan, which I think is Adam's dad. I don't care. I don't like the way it's written. I don't like any of the characters. The writing just feels dense and preposterous. Like I don't know how else to describe it, but I don't like it. I'm not putting myself through it anymore. I listened to a portion of it, and then I did spend like another hour listening to it and trying to read it. Like I tried to be immersive and I just didn't. Nope, I don't care. Bye. 25%, I'm out. And that's fine. I'm allowed to do that. But that does mean I was reading this for the online reading challenge, which was a coming of age story, or a Bildungsroman, which means I have failed that, so I have to pick another coming of age. I haven't done that yet. This was through my library. They have given a list of other options to look at and consider. So I'm going to go through those, see if any of them catch my interest, or I'm just going to pick one myself. See what I still have available on my own shelves that I could read that isn't already picked for something else, and go from there. I will pick something, and when I do, I'll let you know. Catalina keeps popping up. I have not read it, but it's on this list. I've seen it in person. Kayla from Books and Lala has talked about it. Jan from Jan Agaton has talked about it. It keeps popping up, and now I'm like, do I need to read this? Maybe. Next, the other book I finished is, of course, Waco Rising, David Koresh, The FBI, and the Birth of America's Modern Militias by Kevin Cook. This was the Morbidly Curious Book Club's pick for the month of April, and I have already finished it. And I'm giving it a 4. This is a, like, true, I don't want to say true crime, but it is a, like, political true crime nonfiction account of what happened in Waco, Texas. And it is a story of that. It depicts David Koresh's life and how this all happened with the Branch Davidians, and it goes through all of that. The majority of this novel, I would argue like 85% of this novel is Waco, which for me, that's very helpful. I will let you know, I didn't know a lot about the Branch Davidians and David Koresh. I knew of him, but I didn't really know that much about it. So this was really helpful. I think it's misleading in that it says, like, we're then going to talk about how this led to extremists. This is the story of how Waco became the Big Bang for today's anti-government extremists. That is barely touched upon. It makes it sound like this whole book is going to be a combination of Waco and then connecting it to like modern day issues and uprisings and like revolts and riots and stuff that we've had. And that's touched upon in the last like 15% of this book. I don't think it really is not. It's more an exploration of Waco and then the after effect of Waco directly in the immediacy time frame of like FBI backlash and ATF backlash and holding people accountable and the justice that was or was not there kind of things. So 4 stars. Still really informative. I just think it was a little misleading. And then finally, I finished You Are Fatally Invited by Andy Pliego last night. This, of course, was the March pick for the Literally Dead book club. I did not finish it in March, so I read it here at the beginning of April, and holy shit. I have been like waffling in my head. Like, was this a 4.5? Was it a 4.75? Is this a 5 stars? And I finally hit on my rating. It's a 5-star read. I was like, maybe it's only 4.5. And then I'm sitting there going, why? Like, why would I not give this 5 stars? And I couldn't give myself a reason. Like, it was like I just was being like stingy with my 5 stars. I'm like, no, it's a 5-star read. This was a great book for me. I really enjoyed this. I have not yet watched like the Kayla's live show. I have not looked at reviews. I really liked this book. Did it feel a little long near the end? Yes, and I think that might be where some people kind of go, okay, we get it. And it's like, on and on and on and on. It did feel a little long at points. However, I'm for it. I am in it to win it. I love this concept of a locked room mystery, you know, where you put all your suspects in one room and you lock the door, and when you open it, someone's dead. You got to figure out who did it. And they're all, of course, saying, it wasn't me, I was innocent. I had that clip of me saying, I have an idea. I cannot tell you what that idea is, because it would in fact be a spoiler, because I figured it out. I fucking knew it. I figured it out whenever I showed you it like 75% of the way through, where I was like, I think I know who is behind it. We have this mysterious author, J.R. Alistair. They're trying to figure out who it is. I'm like, I think I know who J.R. Alistair is. I have a pretty good idea. I think it's this person. And my logic was sound in my head. I justified it too. I had a whole reason for why I thought it was this person. And by golly, fucking right. There were a couple other little things in here that I did not call, that I did not see coming. And I was like, yeah, that was good. That was a good little twist. Sometimes it can feel a little predictable, so I like when there are those little elements of like, oop, gotcha. So I did like that quite a bit. It is trope filled. It is trope filled, which is the whole point of this. And it is a revenge story. It is about vengeance and forgiveness and changing and adapting and like realizing who you are. Of course, they're all connected. It's all related. Bum, 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 bum. That does get, and I like, it all gets explained. It all gets wrapped up. It is presented to you at the end with a nice little bow. I thought the epilogue, the last little bit, was a nice touch. I really, really enjoyed this. And I read the author's notes. At the back of the book, in the author's notes, it said that the film rights have already been acquired for this. This just got published in 2025, and it's a debut novel. And the film rights have already been acquired? I will watch this. If they can actually do this, I will watch it. This was really good. I really enjoyed this. And I'm already thinking, like, if this becomes a movie, I'm making my husband watch it. And then I can be like, I knew it. So there's that. Which means, though, I don't have any other books right now. And I'm being tough on myself with only reading library books, which means several of my books that are officially on my TBR for the month of April, I can't touch for another couple days because it's National Library Week. So I can't do boyfriend material. I can't start this monster, the Nightingale, and I can't do the Rook because I own these. These are not library books, which leaves me in a little bit of a pickle. I have The Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller. I don't know if I want to read this one physically, because I had started the audiobook last year and I loved the audiobook. Like, the narrator was so good. And I kind of don't want to read it physically because I had the audiobook. So I'm kind of fingers crossed that my hold comes in for this. I have the library edition of 1,000 Recipes for Revenge, but the point of me picking this was because I own it as a digital book. So I'm not going to do this one, because the copy I want to read is one that I own. So, like, that's out. These books are all my hopefuls. They're not on my official TBR. Growing Things, State of Paradise, At the Bottom of the Garden. This is kind of loosely on my TBR. And, of course, The Dangerous Convenience Store, Volume 4. So, like, this is a contender because it is a library book. I do have this as a, like, loose TBR of new horror releases. I'm trying to keep up to date with a new horror. And I believe this was released in February. So, like, okay, I could read this. I also already have The Inheritance, which is this month's Literally Dead Book Club pick. I can start this. I have Lonnie, this is an option. But I still really need to get started on this, the Book of Everlasting Things, because this is the family book club, and I have not opened it, but this is a long book, not including the acknowledgments. There's notes. Jesus Christ. It's 460 pages. That's a lot. But I do need to start it, but I am going to immersive read this, so maybe I will start this one. I don't know. I need to find an audiobook for work, but I also need a book I can physically read, especially because we have sports practices tonight. I don't know. Right now, it's down to these three. Book of Everlasting Things, The Inheritance, and At the Bottom of the Garden. I might start this tonight with sports practice, but I think I'm going to prioritize these two because they are new. That's what these red stickers are for. They are new, and I don't want to keep them longer than like necessary. I don't want them to become overdue, and because they're brand new, I want to get them out and let people have access to them. I don't want to be like hoarding it. So I think I might prioritize these, specifically this one. I just read a thriller, so I think I'm not going to do that. Let's do this. Let's focus on this new, like, horror. Yeah. Yeah. Excellent. Great. We need a bookmark that matches. Yeah. Perfect. Good enough. Okay. I guess this is what we're doing. Plus, I need to edit. I got stuff I got to go do. Okay. Enough. This has gone on way too long. Enough. Let's go. So, it's the end of National Library Week. What have we got? I did not update on Thursday, Friday, or Saturday. And that's okay. So Thursday for National Library Day was our like staff in service, which basically is just a full day of training, of meeting with other professionals, getting specialized training topics to help us better serve our communities and our patrons. And this happens every year, and we just have different things that we like work on. So like this year we talked about helping patrons with dementia, or we also and we had a speaker come in and talk about like cross-generational divides between coworkers and how there are cross-generational like people everywhere, right? Like so many different and like that affects obviously what generation you are, affects how you see others or how you talk to others and things like that. Very interesting stuff. And we always have like breakout sessions, which are just like personal, like you kind of get like free time activities kind of thing. And those were always fun and interesting. And then we just like meet with our departments and other departments and talk. And this was a larger one this year. We combined with a couple like other library staff and just, I mean, yeah, it was good. It was really informative, but that's just a casual day. So I basically was like this. I was in like jeans and a hoodie, and that was what I wore. On Friday, it was a wacky hat day. So I wore a pair of Mickey Mouse ears because I have quite a few pairs. So I wore some or Minnie. I wore some Disney ears, which is super easy and quick. And then on Saturday, it was to wear like crazy socks. I have crazy socks, you could say. These have like owls that are reading on them. But that wrapped up Library Week, and with that I did not finish anything else, but I did have a couple starts and made progress. I am so close to finishing At the Bottom of the Garden. I have less than 100 pages, and at this point this book is not going to get anything higher than a 3. When I finish it, I will let you know. It just has felt like it's dragged on forever, and I've spent like every night reading it, so that's fun. I started tandem reading or immersive reading the Book of Everlasting Things since quite a few of my family members are about halfway through it, and I still needed to start it. And I'm about like 15% of the way in, I think. And I am doing the immersive reading, so I am listening to it at the same time that I have the book in front of me, and I'm just kind of following along with my eyes to keep me engaged. This is set in Lahore, Pakistan in the 1930s, like almost the 1940s, and it's very lush and descriptive, and the narrator has a like Pakistani accent, and it's very immersive, and I really, really enjoy that. I'm also really glad I'm doing it this way because I don't think I would be able to really comprehend if I was just listening to it or just reading it. There is a lot of language that is foreign to me, and I don't know how to pronounce it. I don't know what the words are, and so having it in my ear being said, I understand what is like. It's just a good idea for me in this case, and I'm really enjoying it. And when I say that, I mean I'm enjoying the experience. I can't really speak on the book yet because I'm not even 100 pages in yet. It's a lot of backstory. It seems like it's a lot of history, and we have just met our two main characters. They are children. One is the apprentice to a perfumer, his uncle, and then the other is the daughter of a calligrapher, and she is learning the art of calligraphy, and they just interacted for like the very first time. The calligrapher's dad is working on like a beautiful manuscript, and he wants perfumed paper to write it on. So he comes to the perfume shop with his whole family. And so they're working together, and then the kids meet by chance. And then I was about to say I finished. I have not. I have started The Song of Achilles. I do also have the audiobook for this. I've heard these first several chapters multiple times, but I don't mind starting it yet again. The audiobook is great. It is narrated by Fraser Douglas. I am still really enjoying it, and I'm also about 15% of the way through this as well. Hopefully I can finish it this time. And that's the game. That's the plan, Sam. But that's where I am. And I just want to say another big thank you for everyone who goes to the library, who uses the library. If you do anything to support your local library, thank you, because it matters. Even if you feel like it doesn't, it does. What you do matters. Using your library is important. America needs public libraries. Please continue to support your library. Support your local library workers. Say thank you. Get a library card. I cannot tell you how many people I know in my own personal life who don't know all of the benefits that are available to them just through a library card. And it is amazing the connections that I can build with them, and once I let them know what is available. It's not just books and DVDs and audiobooks. It's so much more. It's community, it's programs, it's literacy for children, it's seeds so you can plant your own garden and potentially grow food for yourself. It's tools and technology and just a way to build a community. So it matters. Please use your library. But with that, this is where this one ends. Thank you so much for being here. Hi, pardon the rough lighting and this intrusion. Editing Emily here, because I realized I ended this video without one last check-in of how much time I spent reading. But for National Library Week, I ended up reading for a total of 17 hours of just library books in those like 4 days, because I did not read at all on Thursday. I read some Friday. I think I read some Saturday, but it ended up being a total of 17 hours of just library books that I read during National Library Week. Just wanted that to be in there. Back to the goodbyes. I will see you all very, very soon. Be easy with your hearts.